Seriously, you guys. Okay, I'm gonna say this. To me, it doesn't matter what you do. Just do it all the way. Love it. Love what you do. It doesn't matter what you're doing. I was just thinking about work, career, how sometimes in life we get a late start. We might feel like we're not where we should be. All these thoughts and feelings can beat us up on this earth school. But you know, I think it's much larger than all of that little rat race we get caught up in. So whatever it is you do, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Even the smallest of jobs, even the smallest of moving of energy on this earth, even if all you could do today was get up and put on your shoes, take your trash out, wash your face, that's a start. Do it well. Enjoy that moment, okay? I had to train myself years ago. All of these little things, you know? Some things that everybody else takes for granted in normal everyday life that came so easy to them, that maybe they got in childhood or somebody stood over and instructed and lovingly guided, and a lot of people didn't get that. A lot of people had to go through a lot of therapy and training just to learn those things when they were growing up, or even go back in their 20s and 30s and relearn a lot of that stuff that they just, you know. So it depends on how people grew up. It's not always easy. What might come naturally to you might be very, very difficult for someone else to carry out. That's why understanding different types of brain wiring is important. But yeah, it doesn't matter what you're doing that day. Just be in the moment with that. Know that you're there and do the very best at it. Feel the very best about it. Be in that moment with that activity. And as far as purpose and career and jobs and whatever, that's what I try to do. I really try to bring myself into that. I may not always be doing what I want to do. No, I don't have my dream job. No, I'm not where I want to be. But I try to bring myself to that damn moment to enjoy what I'm doing. To be the absolute, whatever the fuck I'm doing, I want to be the absolute best at that day, for that time, if I'm going to be involved in it. And you know, I want to say one more thing before I go. If you've ever lived with a narcissistic person who is immature, emotionally damaged, gaslighting, all these manipulative things, you get so damn used to them gaslighting you almost every sentence. And a lot of it's just they don't get it. It really does. They lack so much empathy sometimes that it kind of goes over their head. I'm just saying, it's not that they're not intelligent, but a lot of times they just don't get it. It's because they're so aloof. They've been so checked out for so long. And sometimes it's just because they're just gaslighting you. And sometimes that gaslighting and sending you in circles, that is to hide the fact that they are ashamed of not getting it. Oh my God, y'all, there's so much to know about the little swerves and curves of a narcissist and the reason why they're always deflecting and twisting and curving. If they don't know it, they don't feel comfortable about that, and they don't feel comfortable letting you teach them either. They take that as a direct threat, not welcoming knowledge. Like, oh my gosh, that's fascinating, tell me more. They don't look at it like that. They look at it like, they know more than me. That's a threat. They think I'm stupid. Okay. A lot of the reasons why narcissists attack people is fear and shame, why they deflect, why they send you on a wild goose chase in conversation, why they undermine your points, why they interrupt you. Oh my God, I went through this so much. It's because they're afraid. They feel intimidated by your knowledge. They feel afraid that they may not be able to respond properly. And they literally get bored. They have attention deficit issues too. They get bored trying to process information. A lot of them had learning disabilities growing up, and they just start acting out like a kid. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to maturely communicate with you. Listen, this conversation is, you know, not to hurt your feelings, but it's not interesting to me. Can we move on? They don't know how to communicate that. So there's lots of reasons why the narcissists are wired like they are and they do what they do. It's fascinating, isn't it? It's hurtful to go through, but it's fascinating to learn. Because the more we learn, the more we can protect ourselves and understand each other better. Everybody can. And listen, the fucked up thing is, after being around somebody like that for so long, yes, it will start to damage your brain. You have to be very careful to keep yourself grounded around them, because they really will try to turn your brain into hamburger meat. And so after me being exposed to that for so long, I do have a tendency in my videos to want to over-explain. That's from being emotionally and psychologically abused by a narcissist for years. That's from being gaslighted and undermined and flipped and flopped and tormented just about every sentence I would speak to him, every conversation, or act like a little child, and I would have to explain it and explain it and explain, and I would have to, provide context for him. Like, don't take it this way. This is the way I mean it. Because a narcissist has a tendency to want to take everything. They don't do context very well. It's either all bad or all good. And so that's why I'm the way I am. Most of you would just assume that I meant positive things when I said, whatever you're doing in this world, do it well. Love it. Most of you would assume that, of course, she would never mean if you're abusing people or hurting people or lying or stealing, she would never mean that. Do it well. Of course not, I didn't mean that. But the first thing I thought of is make sure you explain that to them. I don't mean that to the negative. But see, from being around a narcissist for so many years, my brain is conditioned. I'm having to really heal that I have to over-explain everything, even the smallest of things that people should know. Of course, I don't mean if you're doing negative things, hurtful things, do it well. But that's exactly how that narcissist would take it. Very rigid brain, very black or white, very no context. You have to over-explain everything. And things that they should just kind of get. That's because they lack empathy. Oh my God. And yeah, it will really do a number on your brain. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm going to let y'all go on that one. But just interesting information that I feel like I should pass along.